You wake up, not refreshed, but slightly drowsy. Your hand reaches for your phone before your eyes fully open. Notifications, light, noise, information. And just like Thaddeus, your day has even beginnery body has already shifted into stress mode. Now here's the uncomfortable question, what if it's not one big mistake that shortens your life, but a collection of small, normal habits you never question? Not disasters. Not diseases. Just daily Patterson weight, consistent, and almost invisible. And over time, they don't just affect your energy. They may be scorching your longevity without you realizing it. Let's break it down. There's a strange paradox in modern life. We've never had more knowledge about health, yet chronic disease, fatigue, and burnout are rising globally. Researchers often point out something simple but profound: it's not just what you do occasionally that matters, it's what you accommodate daily. So today, we're exposing 10 everyday habits that may be silently reducing your lifespan. Not to create fear, but awareness. Because awareness is the first step toward change. 1. Chronic sleep debt. You tell yourself, it'll catch up on the weekend. But biology doesn't work like a bank account. Every night of short sleep accumulates subtle damage affecting immune function, memory consolidation, and metabolic regulation. Even mild sleep restriction has been linked in studies to higher risks of cardiovascular issues over time. And the real problem? You don't feel it immediately. You just adapt and lower your baseline until tired becomes your normal identity. 2. Constant phone exposure before bed. The last thing you see at night, and the first thing you see in the morning. That glow trains your brain into alertness when it should be winding down. Blue light suppresses melatonin, but the deeper issue is psychological stimulation. Your mind never gets the message, rest is safe. Instead, it stays partially on guard like a soldier refusing to disarm. Over years, this disrupts deep sleep architecture. And poor sleep doesn't just affect energy, it affects aging itself. 3. Sitting for long unbroken hours. Your body was designed for movement, not stillness. Yet modern life quietly normalizes hours of uninterrupted sitting. Research shows prolonged sitting is associated with reduced metabolic efficiency and poorer cardiovascular outcomes in people who exercise. The danger isn't the chair. It's the duration of stillness. Your muscles are not just for movement, they regulate blood sugar, circulation, and hormonal balance. When they stay inactive too long, systems slow down with them. 4. Ultra-processed food dependence. Junk food occasionally, convenience food constantly. These foods are engineered for pleasure, not nourishment. They override satiety signals, spike insulin, and reduce nutrient density per calorie. Over time, your body doesn't just gain weight, becomes undernourished at a cellular level. And here's the irony, you feel full, but your cells are still asking for nutrients. 5. Chronic stress normalization. There's a type of stress that doesn't scream. It whispers. Deadlines, messages, expectations, financial pressure, social comparison. And instead of resolving it, we normalize it. But your body doesn't distinguish between emotional stress and physical danger. Cortisol stays elevated. Over time, this affects immunity, sleep quality, and even memory pathways. You don't notice it happening until calm feels unfamiliar. 6. Lack of natural sunlight. Many people spend most of their day indoors. Artificial light replaces natural rhythm. But sunlight isn't just vitamin D. Exposure is a biological timing signal. It tells your body when to wake, when to focus, and when to sleep later. Without it, your internal clock becomes slightly misaligned every day. A small drift that compounds silently over years. 7. Social isolation disguised as business. You might be surrounded by people, yet still disconnected. Modern life has made interaction efficient, not intimate. Research consistently shows that strong social bonds are linked to longer lifespan outcomes. Not because of emotion alone, but because connection regulates stress biology. Loneliness, on the other hand, keeps the body in subtle survival mode. 8. Skipping strength activity walking is good. But strength is protective. Muscle isn't just aesthetic metabolic insurance. It stabilizes blood sugar, supports joints, and preserves independence with age. Without resistance activity, muscle mass gradually declines after early adulthood. And most people don't notice until daily tasks feel harder than they should. 9. Constant digital dopamine cycling, short videos, endless scrolling, rapid switching. Your attention is repeatedly fragmented into smaller and smaller pieces. Over time, this reduces focus tolerance. You start craving stimulation just to feel normal. And silence begins to feel uncomfortable. Not because silence changed, but because your brain did. 10. Avoiding preventive awareness. Most people only respond when something breaks. But health doesn't collapse suddenly. It erodes gradually. Ignoring small signals, flatus, poor sleep, low energy, brain fog is often the first step toward larger issues later. The real risk isn't lack of treatment. It's delay in awareness. If you step back, something becomes clear. None of these habits look dangerous on their own. That's what makes them powerful. They don't destroy you in a moment. They shape you slowly through repetition, familiarity, and neglect. But here's the hopeful truth: the same system that adapts to decline can also adapt to recovery. Small corrections, movement, light, don't just improve health. They change trajectory. And sometimes that's all longevity really is. Not extreme change. Just better patterns repeated long enough to matter. Subscribe for more such knowledge, like the video if you found it helpful, and comment for any suggestions or compliments.